Hello, and welcome to Yoga with Adriann White at the Community Arts Center of Cambria County. Thank you for those of you who are joining us on our YouTube channel today. We are going to do seated yoga. And for folks who maybe have issues with knees or ankles or hips, and it's hard for them to get up from the floor in a traditional yoga class, a seated yoga class will give you all the benefits of the yoga poses without the pressure on the knees and without the worry of wobbliness and balance. So today, our seated yoga class or our chair yoga class will be primarily adaptations of the more traditional yoga poses that are done seated. We're going to do this as a short video, about 20 minutes. So let's start just by letting ourselves sit to the front edge of the chair. As we sit up nice and tall, we want to have good posture, which means our tailbone points straight down to the ground. The crown of our head points straight up to the sky. We roll our shoulders back so that vertically we stack our hips, our shoulders, and our ears. Now, let's start with just a few breaths and a little bit of movement taken from Qigong to start getting our breath flowing and our bodies warmed up. The first movement from Qigong is called separating clouds. We're going to bring our arms palms high, breathing in as we pull the arms back, widening the chest. On the breath out, gently bend forward, scooping up worries and cares. Inhale, lifting those problems up to the heavens. And on the breath out, push them away, turning your head to the left and gently down to your lap. On the breath in, we reach back, widening the chest. Exhaling, we bend forward. Again, scoop up any last thoughts or worries, inhaling to give them to the universe. And as we look right, we exhale and we push those problems away. Let's do that one more time each side, breathing in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. And one more time, breathing in and out. Breathing in. Pushing out our cares and our concerns and just coming to rest. Now we'll do the opposite, which is called pulling down heaven. As we breathe in, we round the shoulders back and inhale, arms up. As we breathe out, think of emptying out space inside of you to bring all the goodness that the universe has to offer into you. Now this time as we breathe in, we'll look left, gathering up blessings and gifts and goodness. Exhaling to fill ourselves now with these new positive thoughts and energies. We inhale to look right and up. And with gratitude, we bring the blessings that the heavens have for us into us. One more time, inhale, look up. This time, reach, opening the chest, the shoulders, the abdomen. Exhale, bring it all into your mind, your heart, and your soul, and relax. We're going to do a little bit of turning through the waist. We already did some turning through the neck. So this one is going to be hands to the shoulders with your thumbs behind you. Breathing in as we turn our waist left. Breathing out as we turn our waist right. Let's do that 3 more times, noticing that elbows stay open as wide as the shoulders. There's no movement of the arms in the shoulder sockets. And even though it looks as if my head is turning from side to side, I'm keeping my chin above my chest. The turn all happening through the waist muscles. That felt so good. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in and out. And one more time, inhaling and exhaling. We'll inhale, come back to center, and let's relax. Since yoga is about mobility and flexibility of muscles and joints, let's do some things starting with small joints working to bigger. We're also going to exercise our brain by lifting right foot and left wrist in large, slow circles. Notice I'm still keeping my shoulders stacked above my hips, and I still have my head back, ears above my shoulders. I'm making the wrist go slow so that my fingers and my toes are going the same direction. And now I'll reverse. And again, wrist goes slower than ankle. That ankle mobility is a really important component of our ability to maintain our balance as we walk on uneven surfaces. Now let's rest the ankle and the wrist from the knee and the elbow joint. We'll have our foot draw circles on the floor as our lower arm and our fingertips draw circles in the air. I'm still breathing slowly and deeply. And we can reverse. Opposite sides of the body mean we're using both sides of our brain to move our bodies. Now we'll let that left arm hang down from the hip joint and the shoulder socket. We'll do great big circles. So it looks like our kneecap is drawing a great big circle on the wall in front of us, while the point of our shoulders drawing a great big circle on the wall behind us. And again, we'll reverse, and we'll do about 4 in this direction. Are we feeling the tops of the thighs starting to be strong? Are you feeling the hip and the shoulder working? Take a break. And if you'd like, I invite you to close your eyes and just for a span of a few breaths, notice how and where do left and right legs feel different? How and where do left and right arms and shoulders feel different? They worked differently, so let's notice where it affects us. Now we'll do right side with left leg. So we're resting our elbow by our ribs, we're lifting left foot, and again we start with the smaller joints of wrist and ankle. We're continuing with our slow inhales and with our slow exhales. And now we can reverse the direction. Remember, you pull in your belly button in towards your backbone so that your tailbone points down and you sit tall. Now from the knee joint and the elbow joint, we draw a circle with the foot, a circle with the fingertips. Again, those nice slow, deep inhales, long, slow exhales, and we'll reverse. Good job, that's the way. And now let's let our right arm hang down. From the hip socket, the shoulder socket, we'll do great big circles with kneecap and with point of right shoulder. Remember, don't hold your breath, breathe. And when you're ready, we'll reverse. Is this combination easier than when we did the opposite arm and leg? Are you still sitting tall? And when you're ready, take a break. And as we come to rest, again, notice, do hips, legs feel the same between left and right? Do shoulders and arms feel the same between left and right? It's not uncommon to have one side of your body be stronger than the other. That means it's not uncommon for one side of your body to be more limber than the other. We're going to do some big stretches. We'll start with a crescent moon for side body. So let's take our right leg and step our right leg out to the side. Our left leg and torso face forward. Our right knee faces the side wall, and we can rest our right hand or the middle of our forearm to that right thigh. As we inhale, left arm up to whatever degree your shoulder permits. Remember, if you have shoulder issues, you can keep the arm lower or even to the shoulder. And now let's think of inhaling those left ribs up to the sky, lengthening the left side of the body. Can you think of squeezing bottom right rib down towards your pelvis, curving our spine, curving our arms like a crescent moon? Noticing that I'm keeping my left shoulder back aside of my right, above my left hip, and I have lots of space between my chin and my chest because I want to have my right ear back above my right shoulder. Not only are we feeling stretch in left waist and left ribs, maybe even left armpit and shoulder. Are you feeling any stretch in left or right inner thigh? Possibly both. While we're here, let's go ahead and wiggle the fingers of that left hand. Maybe like you're playing the scales on the piano. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, come on back up. And on the exhale, we bring left arm down as we pull right leg back to center. And maybe take a moment to catch our breath. We'll switch to the other side. So now as we sit to the front of our chair, our left leg steps out as right leg, heart center, navel point forward. Left hand or forearm can rest to the leg. And now we inhale right arm to whatever degree is safe for you, adding the lift of the ribs, and then squeezing bottom left ribs into the hip crest so that we can lean on our left leg. Can you please keep your left knee directly above your ankle? Don't let your knee fall in this way, or you lose all of the benefit of that nice inner thigh stretch. Again, I'm trying to keep right shoulder back in line with left. I'm letting the whole left side of my head sink to the shoulder. So lots of length in right side and neck. We can add that wiggle of our fingers while we're enjoying stretch in our armpit, between our ribs, down the length of the waist. And when we get to our legs and our hips, which thigh feels the stretch more? The right leg that's pointing forward or your left leg that's pointing out to the side? When you're ready, inhale, come on back up. And as we exhale to bring the arm down, we'll step back to center. Okay, we did a lot of stretch for the sides of the body. Let's do a seated forward bend. We're going to have our knees about shoulder width apart so that as we bend at the hips, we can lay our torso between our thighs. If you want, use your hands to support you. Your choice. You can continue to have the arms supporting you as you hold your head slightly higher than your heart. And that's in case you have any high pressure in the eyes, like glaucoma, or if you have any untreated blood pressure. If you are dealing with vertigo, keep your head above your heart. If you don't have any of those conditions and you feel safe, you can rest your shoulders to those thighs. Can let your arms hang down outside of the legs, noticing how wide we open up and stretch between our shoulder blades. And then there's the option to relax the neck, letting the weight of our head hang between our knees so that we create length from our neck all the way down the spine to our tailbone, and lots of stretch and width across the upper back. Now we're still breathing slowly and deeply here. When you're ready to come up, we can place our hands back to those knees. And on the inhale, we can use lower back and glute muscles. We can use the strength of the arms to gently bring us back up to sit. Okay? We're going to do some stretches for the tops of the thighs, the shins, fronts of ankles, tops of feet, our groin, and then the backs of our legs. Let's do a warrior one. So I'm going to slide to sit to the left edge of the chair. That means my right thigh and my right buttock are on the chair. I'm sitting towards the front so my right foot can be flat to the floor. Now I'm going to slide my left foot straight back behind me, gently curling, left toes under. For right now, I have a lunge position, and I can try to stack hips, shoulders, and ears. And then to turn it into a warrior one, there's the option, can you take that left heel and turn it flat to the mat and reach your arms up to the sky, keeping your shoulders relaxed down. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see it in profile. So again, I have the right side sitting to the chair. I'm starting by sliding the left foot back. This is the lunge. Notice I'm sitting up tall. I'm not leaned forward. Creates a little arch in the small of your back, a little length in the abdomen. And now to go from our lunge to warrior two, that back left foot turns sideways and, if possible, flat, noticing the stretch that creates in outer ankle and calf. My torso faces forward and I inhale, arms forward and up. Yet we don't want to hunch our shoulders to our ears, so relax and let the weight of the arms push your shoulders back down where they belong. This is an easy pose to turn into warrior two. In our seated warrior one, I get all the benefit of the stretch in the right leg without having to worry about my balance. For warrior two, now I can open my arms shoulder high and I rotate through the waist to turn to the left wall so that my right hand is pointing out past my right knee and toes, so that my left hand is pointing out past my ankle and heel. Notice shoulders are relaxed. Arms are open as wide as the shoulders. I'm still sitting up tall. Please do not lean to the right. Think of a nice straight line from the crown of your head through your heart and down to your tailbone, which is centered between your knees. Warrior two. On an inhale, we can bring the arms up and turn it back to warrior one. And on an exhale, we can push away and return to warrior two. Again, let's inhale, coming up to our warrior one. Last time, we'll exhale and push away, returning to warrior two. From here, we'll relax the arms, we'll bend the knee. As we sit to the front edge of the chair in a nice even resting position, again, I invite you, close your eyes and gently scan through your body, noticing how and where left and right sides feel different. Because they worked different, notice how they feel. We'll go ahead and do our warrior one and two to our left. So that means I'm sliding to the right side of the chair so that I can sit on left thigh and buttock. I'm bending my right knee, sliding my right foot back, curling the right toes under to take a moment, sitting tall in my lunge. Shoulders roll back, chest is open. I'm trying to center my hips between my knees. Now for warrior one, that back right heel gently angles and turns down towards the ground. And I can inhale, arms forward and up. Feeling length in the ribs, the sides of the waist. Again, notice, shoulders aren't hunched up. Shoulders are relaxed, yet elbows are extended, as are the fingers. Since this is a warrior pose, let's not have wimpy fingers. Let's extend and energize those fingers. We're going to turn this into our warrior two. So while we're tall and open in the chest, we'll do our breath in. On the exhale, arms push out, and we turn a quarter turn to face the right wall. Noticing our left hand is reaching out past left knee. Our right fingers are reaching out past right heel. Again, we're trying to have a nice tall line, stacking hips and shoulders and head. Can we inhale to turn forward to our warrior one? And exhale and turn to the right for warrior two. As you inhale and turn forward to warrior one, notice what changes where your right leg meets your body. We call that our groin. There's a big, big muscle there, our hip flexor. As we exhale and push away, we release a little of that stretch. As we inhale and come back to warrior one, do we feel that hip flexor getting a great big stretch? One more time. Exhale, pushing out as we turn away. Last time, inhaling as we come up and turn back to center. From here, we can bring the arms down. We can bend that right knee. If you need, use your hand to help pull the leg forward. And again, we'll slide to the front of the chair. Because we had a little bit of arch in our lower back, I'll do our seated forward bend, this time in profile. So as you can see, my knees are open as wide as my shoulders. I can use my hands bending at the hip so that the hands gently control the descent. And again, it's up to you. Do you keep your head above the heart? Do you allow your shoulders to rest to those thighs, maybe letting arms hang down? Do you let the head hang between the knees? And after the back bends or the arching that we had in our lower back in Warrior 1 and 2, this nice big stretch for lower back should feel really good. If you want more stretch in the shoulders, there's the option to bend the elbows, seeing if you can tuck your fingertips together behind your calves. And again, we breathe slowly and deeply. Now, when it's time to come up, to avoid being lightheaded, let's undo the hands. We'll bring one hand to each knee. While your torso is facing the floor, let's lift our head enough that our head is facing the floor. Now, I'm going to use the muscles in the back of the neck to begin to lift my head up, looking out the floor to the wall behind me, pushing with the hands so that as I'm coming up, my head is already up and my gaze is forward. And using that technique is a wonderful way to help avoid any lightheadedness, vertigo, or dizziness that you may feel when you first come up quickly. So as we're sitting to the front of the chair, let's again pull heaven in, rolling the shoulders back on the inhale, lifting up, reaching up, gathering lots of fresh air and good energy, breathing out any last stiffness and soreness as we bring the goodness into us. Let's do that, inhaling, looking left and up, exhaling as we bring goodness to mind and heart and soul. Inhaling, looking right and up. And exhaling to come down. One more time, we'll do a great big breath in, lifting arms up, looking up to the heavens. This time, let's bring our hands together in gratitude as we draw all the goodness down into our minds and our hearts and our souls. And I'd like to say namaste and thank you. I'm grateful for you joining me, Yoga with Adriann White, at the Community Arts Center of Cambria County. If you would like to join our chair yoga classes in person, please, I encourage you to call the Community Arts Center at 814-255-6515. Look forward to seeing you then. Again, thank you. Namaste.